Stop. Before you mount anything on that kitchen wall, you need to hear this. The kitchen TV market is one of the most cynical corners of consumer electronics, and it is cynical for a very specific reason. Manufacturers know you are not going to research a kitchen TV the same way you research a living room TV. You are going to walk into a store, look at a couple of options, pick the one that does not look offensive, and call it done. They are counting on exactly that. Right now, there is one television being sold specifically for kitchens that is nothing more than a furniture accessory wearing a TV badge, and it is priced like a premium product. Today, we're going through 4 options, from the one you must walk away from all the way to the one small screen that genuinely earns every dollar you spend on it. This is a short video because the decision is not complicated once you have the information. If a TV purchase has ever felt like it was designed to confuse you rather than help you, subscribe. That is what this channel is for. Let us start with the trap, Samsung the frame, specifically the 32 and 43-inch versions aimed directly at kitchen buyers. Samsung's pitch for the frame is compelling on the surface. When the TV is off, it looks like a framed painting on your wall. The matte screen coating handles harsh overhead kitchen lighting without glare. The customizable bezels match your cabinetry. It is designed to look like it belongs in a kitchen rather than broadcasting the fact that you own a television. That pitch is entirely about aesthetics. The picture technology underneath the beautiful packaging is a different conversation entirely. The frame uses edge-lit LED backlighting with no local dimming. The same architecture we criticize in budget televisions, twice its price. Edge-lit means the lights run along the frame and push illumination inward from the sides. There is no ability to make one part of the screen dark while another is bright. Every movie, every show, every cooking tutorial plays on a panel that physically cannot produce deep blacks, controlled contrast, or HDR content that looks anything like what the director intended. Nina renovated her kitchen last year and put the frame on the wall above the counter. She told us the first morning she turned it on for the news, she could not understand why the picture looked so flat and washed out compared to every other Samsung in her home. Same brand, same year, completely different viewing experience. She went back to the store and the rep told her the frame is optimized for art display, not for television viewing. That sentence costs $700 if you hear it after you buy instead of before. Consumer Reports testing places the frame's picture quality significantly below comparably priced LED televisions from TCL and Hisense. You're not paying for picture performance. You're paying for the ability to tell guests your TV looks like a painting. That is a legitimate personal choice, but it should be an informed one. Subscribe if you want this kind of honest breakdown every week before you make a purchase this size. Now let us talk about what actually works. TV number 2 is the Vizio D-Series 40-inch, and we need to be precise about what this television is and what it is not. It is not impressive. The panel is basic. The brightness is modest. The picture will not make you reconsider what television can be. What it is a functional piece of glass at a price that respects the context it is going into. A kitchen television is background media. It is the morning news while you make coffee. It is a recipe video while you chop vegetables. It is a podcast-level companion, not a cinematic experience. The Vizio D-Series understands that assignment and executes it at a price that makes the purchase genuinely painless. The Truva Atta is significant, and you need to know about it before you buy. Vizio's SmartCast operating system is one of the most reliably frustrating interfaces in consumer electronics. It is slow to load, prone to lag, and requires more patience than a kitchen environment realistically provides. A user on a home theater forum described the specific misery of this problem with perfect precision. He said he was making eggs one morning, decided to open Netflix on the Vizio, and by the time the app responded, his eggs were burning on the stove. He stood there watching the loading spinner with a spatula in his hand. That scenario is not an exaggeration. It is the consistent, documented reality of SmartCast on budget hardware. The solution is simple and adds about $30 to the total cost. Plug a Roku stick or a Fire Stick into the HDMI port and use the Vizio as a dumb display. The panel does its job. The smart features become irrelevant. You bypass the slow brain entirely and get a perfectly functional kitchen screen at the lowest reasonable price on this list. TV number 3 is the TCL-S 5K QLED 32-inch, and this is the television that earns the description of genuinely good for the money. TCL smuggled a quantum dot color filter into a 32-inch panel at a price that makes the Samsung frame look like a financial crime by comparison. 300 nits of brightness is enough to cut through the overhead lighting in a standard kitchen without the image washing out. Google TV is built in and runs cleanly on the hardware, which means your recipe videos, streaming apps, and morning news all load without the lag ritual that defines the Vizio experience. The picture has actual color to it. Not the saturated artificial pop of a showroom demo mode, but genuine warmth and accuracy that makes food content look appetizing and news content look natural. Faces look like faces. Produce on a cooking channel looks like produce rather than a washed-out blur of approximate green. For a kitchen screen, that is the entire job description, and the S5K does it without asking you to compromise on convenience or empty your wallet. It also sits at a size that works on a cabinet, a shelf, or a wall mount without dominating the space the way a larger screen would in a compact kitchen. The Truva Utter is a resolution ceiling that will never matter in a kitchen and might matter to you anyway. The S5K tops out at Full HD, which is 1080p. If you stand close enough to the screen in a small kitchen, you will not notice. If the idea of a non-4K screen bothers you categorically, you will notice every time you think about it. For a television being watched from across a kitchen while you cook, 4K resolution provides zero practical benefit. But if it matters to you, it matters. And now, the one that ends the argument entirely. The LG C6 OLED 42-inch. Yes, this is a flagship OLED panel. Yes, it costs more than anything else on this list. And yes, putting it in a kitchen is the kind of decision that makes practical people uncomfortable. But hear out the actual argument before dismissing it on price alone. The specific problem that makes every other television on this list a compromise for kitchen use is viewing angle. In a kitchen, you are never sitting still. You are at the stove, and then at the sink, and then at the counter, and then reaching into the refrigerator. You are watching from 5 different positions in the same 10 minutes, and most television panels punish you for every degree you move off the central axis. Colors shift, brightness drops. The contrast that looked fine from directly in front collapses when you are standing at an angle. In a kitchen, there is no center seat. There is only movement. And movement is exactly what LCD and QLED panels were not designed for. The C6's OLED panel does not have a viewing angle problem. Every pixel produces its own light independently. There is no backlight to create a cone of optimal visibility. From the stove, from the sink, from over your shoulder reaching for something on the top shelf, the picture is identical. The color does not shift. The brightness does not drop. What you see from 12 feet away at a 45-degree angle is the same image you see standing directly in front of it. That is the specific property that makes this television uniquely suited to a kitchen, and it is a property that no LCD, QLED, or edge-lit panel can replicate at any price. The Truva Atu is financial honesty. This television costs more than it needs to for the content you will watch on it. The morning news does not require perfect black levels. A recipe video does not require infinite contrast. If the number on the price tag creates ongoing anxiety every time you cook near it, that anxiety is a real cost that the picture quality cannot offset. Buy it if the investment feels proportionate to how much you use and enjoy your kitchen. Pass on it if it does not. Subscribe and stay close, because next we are covering the Costco TV aisle, which is one of the most dangerous places to spend money on a television in 2026. The bulk pricing and the Kirkland trust factor create a buying environment where very average hardware moves at very premium prices. The specific models to avoid and the 2 that actually deserve a spot in your cart are in the next video. Do not walk into that warehouse before watching it.